What's good, everybody? It's your boy, the Qtip. We're back with another video. Today, we're bringing you the 5th edition of Qtip's Corner. Before I get into who it is, even though you already know because you clicked on the title, before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you share it with your people, share it with your friends, share it with your homies, share it with anybody, you know? We're trying to grow over here. We have to 31 subscribers. Appreciate everybody that is subscribed and appreciate everyone that listens and watches these videos. Hopefully, you were able to learn something about a player or a team or just the W in general. And I want to keep doing these things, so make sure y'all tap in. But let's get straight to it. Yueru, 6'7" center, Dallas Wings. Weird start to her career, as far, or I would say WNBA career at least. She was drafted in 2019 by the Dream, 3rd round, 35th pick. Didn't come over until 2022. Was moved to the Sky, played with them for a couple of games. Well, I say a couple of games. She played for them for the whole season of 2022, but didn't play a ton. So I do find it funny. Like, that is where I really saw her skill set, and I would say, or where I saw her play first. Like, I didn't really see her play overseas. I saw her in the stints with Chicago, and again, she played 5 minutes a game that year. So the things that I saw were very small things. But sometimes you can see certain things from certain players and you just know, okay, once they hone in on this talent or once they get the opportunity, they're going to blossom. She got a little bit more opportunity a couple years later with the Sparks. She didn't play in the 2023 season. She played with the Sparks in 2024. She played 14 minutes a game that year, averaged 5 points a game. Was able to get a little bit more of a understanding, a little bit more of a role, a little bit more of just being a WNBA player. Like, this is probably the season that she most felt like she was a part of a team, and there were some times where she would have good games, and then there were times where she would be out of the rotation, which I didn't really understand. But you know, it is what it is. And then this year she came in, she was with Seattle, which didn't go the way that she had hoped, so she requested a trade. Ended up on the Dallas Wings, and she would go on to play 22 games with them, start 12 of those, play 20 minutes a game, average 7 points, 5.8 rebounds, 1 assist, and shoot 42, 35, 84 splits from the field. She was able to get to a team that was trying to find an identity, trying to find who they were, trying to figure out what players were going to be a part of the core, what players were going to be in the rotation each night. And for a while, Yueru was one of those key players. And then there's times where, you know, coaches just decide not to play her. I know there's some things that people coaches probably want to see her play a little bit better defensively, as far as being able to move her feet. But the things that she can do offensively, I think, are highly underrated. She can shoot the ball as a 6'7" center. She can move well offensively. She really does space the floor. She's good off ball. She makes good decisions of moving out, spacing in, cutting to the rim. She's a great pick and roll roller. She's got phenomenal footwork as well. Her footwork in the paint is, and she's still a very young player. I know in the W, 26 isn't really young, but for someone that's only played 85 WNBA games, I would still consider her young. And I would love to see her on a team where she's able to be a focal point of the offense. I'm not saying she needs to be but one of the focal points of the offense. And I think she could be a player that ends up winning a most improved type of award, just because the skill set is there. She just needs, obviously she needs good players around her, but she also needs the coach and the staff and the organization to trust her and to give her that confidence of go out there and just play your game. There's a lot of times where she might make a mistake or two, or some things happen on the defensive end and they just pull her out of the game, and we may not see her for a good bit. And I understand it, but at the same time, if you're trying to invest in a player, you have to let them learn through mistakes. The difference between when certain players, when players play overseas versus when they play in the WNBA, is also very drastic. Yueru is a fantastic player when she's in China. And I'm not saying she's not a fantastic player over here. And a big reason that I'm kind of like fast tracking this because I was gonna wait a little bit for this video. But the reason that I kind of fast tracked this because she was announced to be doing Unrivaled coming up in February, which I'm super excited about because I think her playing in the 3-on-3 setting could be really fun. Her ability to space the floor, like I mentioned earlier, her ability to space the floor, pick and roll, her footwork, all those things are going to work well with the different guards and wings that she can play against. And honestly, I would love to see her in a one-on-one setting, not really like from the top of the key, but if they were to play like a post up, like free throw line and in kind of thing, I think she could do really well with that. But I don't think they would do that. So when she's in China or even during the Olympics, she had great stretches. She had great games. She plays phenomenally overseas. She plays with Hanzhou and Li Ming, who have both played in the WNBA. And if she can play with them and at times look like the best player on the team, look like one of the most important players, like I just think when overseas players come over here, like some of them just get put into a role and they don't really get to play the game that they've been used to playing for most of their lives or most of their careers. And then if they don't fulfill that role to the exact ability or exact expectation of a coach or an organization, they get moved or they get benched or they just don't really play a lot. So I just hope that if Dallas is not a team that picks her up this offseason, I hope someone picks her up and just gives her the opportunity to be a focal point of the team. Not saying that she's got to start and play 35 minutes a game or that she's got to, be the second option on the team or anything like that, but I genuinely think that she is one of the most skilled post players in this league. And when she's been given the opportunity to show that, she's shown it. She's shown it plenty of times. She's shown it against different teams this year. The highlight reel will be out on TikTok. If you guys want to go watch that, make sure you go check that out. It'll be linked in the description so that you can see what I'm talking about and not just hear what I'm talking about. So everything that I'm saying kind of makes sense as far as like how I mentioned, like her ability to roll, her ability to shoot the three, space out, her ability to move off the ball, and her footwork. Those are like the big things that I've taken away from her game, and then going back and doing the research to get the highlights and things like that. Like it made me feel better about what I was seeing and what I was thinking. She's a good free throw shooter. And I think she's an underrated passer as well. Like she just had it's hard to say that when she only averages 1 assist, but that's a little misleading, I feel like. And again, this is a player that isn't really getting the opportunities to show her full skill set. I think the ability to pass is in her skill set. She just hasn't been able to show it. And I'm hoping that Unrivaled is a place where she gets to do that because it's a 3-on-3 setting. There's only so many players on the team, and you're going to need her. You can't just sit players on the bench and not play them at all. She's going to get the opportunity to play. She's going to get the opportunity to show her skill set, and she is dealing with an injury. So hopefully she's able to come back from that, get into the gym, work on her game like she has time and time again, and just continue to get better. She's 4%. But for the most part, she shot really well, and just she's a good decision maker. Like she has a high IQ. She just has to be able to get the opportunities. That's really what it is. When it comes to the WNBA specifically, opportunity, communication, consistency, confidence are the 4 things that are big for young players, just because it's a league where you really don't know where you're going to be unless you're a top 10 player in the league. And even then, sometimes you still don't really know. Like you could be traded or like at the end of the season, like team don't want you back. And you don't really know until you get to that part. So the WNBA is one of those leagues where you have to show it right away, or you have to show like small signs, and that organization has to have invested in you. And not one team has invested in her yet. And the closest thing to that would be Dallas, because they did send a pick to Seattle to get her. So that's why I'm hopeful that she'll be one of the players that they protect in this draft, in the expansion draft, and continue to build on what she did for them this season. And if they don't, I really hope someone else does. But I will say, Yueru, great talent, super underrated. I think not a lot of people notice because she's played on teams that haven't been fantastic, or she's been like in a smaller role. And she's really just shown flashes. She's never really been able to do like a week or two straight of just having great performances, because she could have 20 and 11 one game, or 20 and 9 one game, and then the next game she'll play like 15 minutes. So it's hard to get that's why I said consistency and confidence. It's hard to be confident when the minutes that you're getting and the opportunities that you're getting aren't consistent. So those are some things that I want to see change for her. The things that I want to see her get better at would be just being more decisive, and then defensively just being able to move laterally a little bit better. But I think she does everything well offensively, and then defensively I think she just has to be able to use her 6'7" frame against or to her advantage, not against, to her advantage, and that will keep her on the court if she's able to play defense at a high level. Not even a high level, at an above average level. And I don't think she's a bad defender. I think she just is getting used to the WNBA and them playing through the post as much as they do, and as physical as the league is. She's not a super physical player. Like, she looks like she should be a physical player, but she's not a player that plays super physically. Like, she's more gonna spin off of you, gonna use her footwork to get past you, more finesse than physical. So getting used to that is always going to be an adjustment, and I think that's another thing that she has to get better at, is just using her size, using her strength to her advantage, and not letting other players kind of try to push her around and things like that. But we'll see what the future holds for Yueru. Can't wait to see her in Unrivaled. Hopefully the injury recovery is going well, and she'll be fully healthy by the time Unrivaled comes around, and we get to see her to her full ability, her play at her full ability. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about this video. Let me know how you feel about what players that I haven't talked about yet. What players do you think I'll talk about? What college players, women's college players, would you like me to talk about? What NBA players do you think I'm going to talk about? And let me know what else you want to hear me talk about. Let me know what you want to see on this channel. Do you want to see more IRL basketball content? Do you want to see more of me sitting down talking? What kind of content do you guys want to see? Let me know that, and I will try my best to bring that to y'all. Thank you guys for watching.